we'll reclaim him, much like you can reclaim us. But yeah, we've got ourselves a Dota 2 game. It's the grand finals. Newbie, Mr. Game Boy versus Mineski. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, this should be a really good series. I think Mr. Game Boy, maybe they figured some things out through their lower bracket expedition. They've banned the Beastmaster this time around. They're getting rid of the Lone Druid too. At the end of the first series, the earlier series today, the upper bracket final, we said, look, it doesn't seem like it's just a draft thing. It does seem like Mineski, it's just like their overall play style. They can kind of sub these things in and out. But I think this is a good start, banning out the Lone Druid and the Beastmaster.
Yeah, and right away. I mean, Mineski, they sub some heroes in and out. You know, they have a completely different opening this time around. A Terrorblade with a Tusk. We've seen Beastmaster openings. We've seen all kinds of stuff from this team, and this is something, you know, just new. At least for this tournament.
Yeah, and the Tusk, the stock has been rising a little bit over the course of this event, it feels like. Wasn't really getting played a whole lot at the beginning. We had OG picking it, looked fantastic in that one game when they were rotating around with No Tails Chen. But MGB still going to be able to get their hands on the Shadow Shaman. This seems like it's their #1 support priority right now. It's what they're focusing on the most. I don't know if they'll be able to get the Centaur through. That's what they've been focusing on quite a bit, but they do get the PA this game. Might just get banned out.
Yeah, I mean, last time these teams played each other, just earlier today, this is a rematch, essentially. The PA was that kind of hero that got banned in the second stage and then moved up to the first stage. I think Mineski realized it was going to be a contested pick, or at least a pick that Newbie would want. This time around, Newbie say, look, we're going to pick it up while we can, because they didn't get in either of those two games.
Yeah. So the Terrorblade is like, I guess, an interesting idea against the PA, right? There's a lot of physical damage from the PA, and TB is one of the, if not the highest armor heroes in the entire game.
Yep.
So it certainly has some opportunity here against the PA. Even if the PA gets very farmed, maybe Terrorblade's still going to be all right. And previously, when you were talking about cleave, you might bring up the fact that, okay, well, the damage that you're doing with the cleave isn't reduced by armor, but since 7.20, that's changed. And now that armor is actually going to help you against the cleave damage as well. So TB even more resistant against this kind of cleave PA strat that we've kind of been seeing.
Yep, and we'll see the last couple bans coming out before some more picks as Timbersaw, Kunkka, two heroes we've seen going head-to-head, I feel like in maybe 3 games in the last 2 days, maybe at least 2. It's kind of gone back and forth a little bit. We finally saw the Timbersaw win the actual game. The other 2 were won by the Kunkka side of it. And Keeper of the Light comes out. Mineski busting out saying a little bit different here, as we'll see what this is going to lead to with their kind of 3rd, 4th pick combo.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to end up grabbing more AoE team fight, if like what the situation is going to end up being. They don't really have any great heroes to use the Chakra just yet either, in terms of something that you would really point to as saying like, oh, there's some amazing synergy here. So I guess it's like okay with Terrorblade, the cooldown reduction. Maybe you're spewing out some more illusions. You're getting a little bit of extra farm. Of course, it's just for Coddle by himself. But
well, got the Brewmaster now picked up 3rd for Newbie, Mr. Game Boy. This hero is very flexible. He can be a support, can be a core. Has had success in both roles, and it just seems like the Primal Split, once you get level 6, can be very valuable. At the same time, play him as a core, you can get some nifty items as well. Get a fast Vlads, get a fast Blink. And actually scale pretty well into the late game as well.
Yeah, the Brewmaster seems to have shifted down in terms of priority a little bit. The major qualifiers just a couple of weeks ago, Brewmaster was a go-to for some regions, and here it's sort of a second phase thing. Did get some minor nerfs in one of the sub patches. I feel like did maybe get a couple of little adjustments, but still certainly very strong. And we get the Elder Titan banned out. That was something that we saw during the group stage for this event. Haven't really seen a whole lot on the main stage. We did see one game just before from MGB, so that's going to prompt the ban for
Cat U's been crazy on that hero when he has played it. Like we saw last game, I think even maybe one other game that he's played it, was maybe I'm thinking of another tournament, but he's looked very scary on that 4th position hero. Mineski get the Sand King, so likely see the Sand King played by KP. That's kind of a signature hero of his of sorts. I mean, I feel like he's got 3 or 4, but that's one he's always played a lot of.
Yeah, well, I think the Sand King goes back to kind of his like even his early days of being a professional Dota 2 player over in China, and certainly something that he can play very, very well. And I think that the Sand King is the kind of hero that I'm looking for to utilize the Chakra magic a little bit more from the Keeper of the Light. Like just getting that Burrow Strike back off cooldown that little bit faster. It's such a high impact skill that the cooldown reduction is going to be
I find it more likely we see the Coddle with Sand King than Tusk, because Tusk can kind of secure the TB's lane okay, and actually has kill potential. You pop meta, you have the tag team with the Ice Shards, you can actually block people in and do that bonus damage.
Yeah, and the nice thing about having the Coddle in the off lane as well, potentially, is being able to just shove the wave in and then either dive or go for the side pulls and sort of grab a little bit of extra farm that way. Though we have seen Keeper of the Light, it was on the Dire side, so I don't know if it's going to be different for the Radiant, but we saw Keeper of the Light kind of playing over on the Dire side and just going, there's one set of camps where you can blast through, and he was trying to find some farm over there.
Yeah, I think it was actually maybe Pilot I played in one of those
might
games,
have been, yeah.
if I recall. Leshrac comes out, interesting hero we haven't seen too much of, but typically against the Terrorblade where you want to go for some kind of heavy magic damage. Zeus Tinker are kind of the common go-tos, but Leshrac kind of does a similar thing where there's a lot of magic damage coming through. You can clear out the illusions and actually kind of threaten to kill him with some burst damage during a disable. Yeah.
It is a little bit scary. Well, I think there's an interesting matchup to talk about here in terms of Lesh is really good against PL with the whole illusion clear thing, but he's not so great against Terrorblade just because he has to be up in his face and then he presents himself as a potential Sunder target, which is always a little bit scary. Of course, with the patch changes, now you can just buy a BKB. Is that Sunder doesn't go through BKB anymore? Does that sound right? Am I crazy?
It does, right? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Or maybe I'm just thinking about the...
they've got the mana cost on it now.
That's true. That was the other...
Yeah, so against these mana burning heroes, it's a lot harder to get the Sunder
Maybe I'm
off.
just thinking about the weird bugged Lotus Orb interaction that was going on. But.
There we go. We got some Dota 2 sounds for you guys as Centaur Warrunner comes out as the last pick for newbie Mr. Game Boy. Centaur going to be...
Man, they got Centaur all the way to the very last pick.
There you go. It seems crazy because this is a hero that was already one of the best offlaners. He got tweaked when the 7.20 patches came out, but the new Retaliate is still very strong. In some ways better than Return, in some ways doesn't quite, you don't push maybe as much with it. The tower taking capabilities of Return was pretty nice when you had a Vanguard, but new Centaur still seems very strong.
For sure. Yeah, we've even seen people getting the 2 points up in Retaliate early on just for all of that extra damage when you've got the lockdown. So they do have that Shadow Shaman Centaur lane here potentially, and that could apply a ton of pressure to this Terrorblade. I think that's a little bit worrying for Mineski. I don't know what they're going to go for here mid. So the TA gets banned out. They need something to match up against the Lesh, but also something that's not going to get completely decimated by the PA. I don't really know what I like here.
What are they?
They've got lockdown, they've got tower push, they've got ways to take objectives, so I don't feel like there are any obvious holes in the lineup that they need to fill, but at the same time, it depends on the overall game plan as well. Do they want to have a solo carry TB and just get some more utility from the mid lane? That's where they could be in trouble later on because the Lesh, the PA, and the Centaur are all going to scale pretty well.
The two normal go-tos, which I feel like Moon would play, would be the TA against Lesh or the Kunkka, which was already banned. So he may have to go a little bit further outside of what would be his comfort zone, although he's got plenty of other heroes he can play very well. And we'll see which of those he wants to go for. Last pick is going to be an Ember Spirit.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, so this is an explosive matchup against PA. You've got a lot of magical damage, and you can potentially kill the PA and Hunter during the game, but you have to be so careful because you have no armor, and like a stray crit can just tear your head clean off, and that's the end of your game is Ember Spirit. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Laning matchup against the Lesh, I'm not anticipating that it's going to be amazing, but Ember is always kind of that catch-up hero. It doesn't really matter so much how the laning stage goes. He's a relatively weak laner in a lot of matchups, but you can always just retreat with the Flame Guard into the jungle and find some farm there.
And unlike some of those, Kunkka Timber 1v1 mids we saw, there's a lot of gank potential in the mid lane. If Ember gets help, like any kind of a gank from a Tusk or a Sand King, easy kills on the Lesh. Going the other way, any kind of a rotation from like a Shadow Shaman, easy kills on the Ember Spirit before he hits level 6. So
for sure.
There's a lot of kill potential in that mid lane for both sides. Even solo kill potential with Lesh having an edge, as well as rotations from, I think, mostly the Tusk to allow Ember to get kills on Lesh.
Yeah, the way that the supports spend their time this game is going to be really interesting to me in terms of all of the lanes feel like they can be influenced by the support spending time there. So it'll really reveal to me like the priorities for the teams in terms of who do they feel really needs help, who do they feel like they can sacrifice a little bit more. Like MGB, they might think, okay, we really need this Blink Dagger on the Centaur early on this game to be able to catch the Ember and to like get into the backlines and find the Coddle. So maybe if they prioritize the Centaur a little bit more, then that's kind of their game plan. Or you know, they could also be ganking for the Lesh a whole lot. Maybe they feel like he's the important factor this game. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, this is game one, a full best of 5, where hopefully you're going to see at least 4 or 5 games here, not that 3-0 stomp. Mineski's looked very good, probably coming in as favorites. Just, I mean, based on earlier today, I think without a doubt. But there we go, guys. We're headed in. Let's hear it for our 2 teams. Newbie Mr. Game Boy taking on Mineski here in our grand finals.
And that's the other nice thing. We're going to best of 5. Teams can try things out a little bit. There's going to be some opportunities to, maybe we'll see a couple of new heroes, a couple of different strategies. I feel like Mr. Game Boy have actually changed things up quite a lot over the course of today. They went down into the lower bracket. They picked the Beastmaster. They picked the Skywrath Mage, kind of taking a little bit of inspiration, I think, even from Mineski in some ways.
They started today losing 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
It looked like they were just going to be out of the tournament. You
Yeah.
know, they got 2-0 stomped by Mineski. They lost game 1 against OG. And so many teams in that situation would just be, well, they're out. But for some reason, Newbie Mr. Game Boy, had this clear focus, determination. They were not going to be eliminated so easy. They took the next 2 games against OG, so they come in with some good momentum. Mineski, same thing. They just 2-0'd this exact team they're facing. So I'd say neither team with really that mental edge. Perhaps Newbie Mr. Game Boy, the fatigue, they may be setting in a little bit. They've just played 5 games in a row and have potentially 5 ahead of them.
I do think they're probably fueled a little bit by that desire for revenge, right? They get another crack at Mineski here. So we'll see how they do. Moon was kind of playing some games around the mid lane, just coming in and out of fog. I think maybe trying to fake out that he had a ward or something like that. But they're not giving him a ward at all, at least so far over at the mid lane. Mineski sending 4 heroes up the top just to try and scout out the lanes a little bit. And it looks like they are just going to leave KP to kind of solo the bottom lane as they actually keep the tri-lane all the way around the TB. So that's what I was talking about, right? The way that the supports choose to spend their time this game really reveals the priorities for the team. And for Mineski, it's they want JT to have a pretty good start. And they're willing to sacrifice KP's game a little bit to do that, though that's not an uncommon thing for Mineski at all.
Yeah, it seems like when you have these hard carries, the safest way to play is to initially tri-lane, and then you TP one of your supports to go help out KP in this situation once that lane is secured. You want to make sure TP doesn't just lose his lane in the first 2 minutes. KP, if he has a rough first 2 minutes, doesn't matter. He's going to eventually get enough support to help him out. He's against the tri-lane for now, but not for long. Cat-Yu on the Shaman, immediately TPing up top.
Yeah. Okay, so they do get this Shadow Shaman Centaur lane together, but it is still a full tri-lane for Mineski. They've got at least the 1 interrupt, potentially, with the Snowball. Also, just beating the Shadow Shaman to death is also not a bad way to go.
Want to get this first blood on Cat-Yu. They pop the Metamorph, but it looks like he may get out of range here. Another second support TP coming in. Oh, that's Centaur. He didn't like his position at the secret shop.
Didn't want to get punched by the Metamorphosis plus the tag team, I suppose, but they're still
Pilot
running forward.
has it.
Okay, gets that first hit, but nobody's helping him. He's just
There's the help. The Illuminate coming in, doing a nice chunk of damage. So JT not quite getting perhaps the damage he wanted to from the Metamorph, but does manage to secure this first full wave of creeps. He's going to be up to 7 last hits out of 8, potentially with a couple of denies as well.
Yeah, I think more than anything, he just wants to secure those denies, secure the wave position. The lane is pushing back a little bit into them now. This is what I was talking about when you've got this Keeper of the Light trying to run these side pulls, securing a little bit of extra farm that way, and difficult for them to contest. They are going to stomp up onto the Tusk. Pylai dropping a little bit low. The Aether Shock's still there. A couple more auto attacks, and that's first blood for Cat-Yu. Pylai just a little bit too far forward. Maybe didn't realize how many retaliate stacks there were on the Centaur, and will end up paying for that.
Yeah, just underestimating some of that damage output. That Shaman Aftershock can be a bit deceptive. Level 1 is a single target nuke. It's a lot of damage. And Retaliate, of course, adding up, giving that bonus right click. KP down bottom in this 1v2 matchup. Not having the best time, but has gotten 4 CS at least.
He gets immediately forced out of his Sandstorm here.
It seems okay. That Sentry Ward is not in the most high impact place.
Oh, nice Delta split on that Keeper of the Light Blast. Okay, did get out of the way to Illuminate. But yeah, I don't think this is going to be that bad of a bottom lane for KP, right? He's a Sand King against double melee. So He's got enough regen. He has taken a couple of crits here from Protoss. And Katyu stepping forward here, gets blocked in by the Ice Shards. Awen trying to be the bodyguard. What can he actually do? He's got the stomp, but Katyu taking way too much damage. Does get a little bit further away, and it's actually Pylai getting punched now. High backs off. We do have Febby continuing to chase. He wants this kill on Katyu. Can he actually finish it? Few more hits in the blast. Febby might just be able to run it down. He's pretty fast on the Coddle. Katyu with the Fairy Fire is going to keep himself alive, and now he's got the salve. Very nicely played.
He even held onto the salve to the very end. That's impressive. The fight's not over up top. They're still looking for these kills. Katyu's turned this one around onto Pylai. The Illuminate swoops on through, gets him kind of low. But Pylai splits him up with a nice Ice Shards, and JT has a bit of one-on-one time with the Centaur, but that's not one-on-one time he so desires.
Yeah, they do have the Metamorphosis back up now, and Pylai with the tag team off cooldown.
Yeah.
So.
JT picks up boots, which is actually pretty important for a TB to have kill potential with Metamorph.
Yeah.
You need that movement speed to be able to chase them down and get as much damage as possible in. Moon.
Okay, they're going for it now. There's the tag team, damage coming in. They control the Terrorblade. Katyu putting his life on the line to try and save the Centaur, and he will do so. Nice dodge as well from Awen. Finds his way into the trees and will dodge the Illuminate.
Kind of the second Metamorph we've seen come out that didn't really connect as well as they'd like. KP down bottom, could be in some trouble. Still has a Burrow Strike to escape though, so we'll get back to the safety of his tower. The Magic Sig really helping him out against the PA. All that Stifling Dagger spam just being constantly dealt with.
Febby runs over towards mid lane a little bit. I think he was just coming to check out the rune.
Yeah.
The Radiant don't actually have any vision over the runes at the moment. Yep. Actually, hardly, not a single observer ward on the map right now for Mineski. So vision situation not looking great.
Surprisingly, both teams in these hard lanes are doing very well. The fact this 2v3 Centaur Shaman lane are holding their own, getting CS
Febby,
is so nice.
He wanted this kill on Katyu, but Awen TP's over to the shrine. And Katyu gets the turnaround.
Yeah.
He has looked so good on the Shadow Shaman today, actually. I think it's been by far his best hero.
It's very difficult to play in a 2v3 lane. Shaman does not like being bullied. You're very squishy, you're very slow. His positioning and decision-making has been perfect in that lane.
And Febby's done with top lane. He's just deciding to come down towards bottom. We've got the 5-minute bounty rune battle coming up. They're going to look towards Protoss. Decent damage. This tag team helping them out. He doesn't actually have the Drunken Brawler, and they managed to shard in on the PA. Okay,
nice Quelling Blade out.
He gets around.
That's why they rotate the supports. They knew they could maybe contest those bounty runes, but problem is they're going to give up both the top ones potentially. Katyu may not realize the other one's there, as JT, I think, recognizes he needs to back the hell off.
Yeah, they don't have the wards, but they do have the scan.
Making a nice play with his illusion. He's actually pulling creep waves, although it will be countered a little bit, but the wave equilibrium will still be messed with. Back at bottom, KP getting some damage in on Gia.
And Protoss running around here. He's just got a sentry ward.
Might be looking to get a D ward off. He may have seen this.
Oh, he knows exactly where it is.
Must have seen it get planted.
Okay. So the D ward game on point. Doesn't manage to dodge that stun. He does have the Flame Guard. Pi thinking about a turnaround here. 430, still has some bottle sips. And Moon just wants the Illusion Urn. He's not going to try for anything crazy. Maybe they go for a kill once they have the level 6, and he can just drop a triple remnant on Ferrari or something
definitely
like that.
fortunate for him to find that rune. If it spawned bottom, his lane would be in a bit of a shakier place.
Yeah.
May have forced him back to base or something.
Yeah, he could reset with the remnants once he gets level 6, but still not ideal.
And like you say, you may want to save those for that triple remnant aggro play. Go for some kills here. He's now ready to rotate theoretically. If there's an overcommitment on either of these side lanes from Mr. Game Boy, he can TP on in with those aggressive remnants.
Yeah, and right now everybody, playing a pretty chill game. 430 is going to back up all the way, go and heal up, get his bottle refill. Febby is just continuing to run pulls. Doesn't really want to gank on this Coddle, but looks like he may actually get ganked himself. Protoss running forward. Faster, slower, faster. Can he finally get the clap off? No, won't be able to.
Back at top though. Looks like they may be going in. Yep. Going in. Arwen on the Centaur. JT has that Metamorph here. Arwen needs some help from the Shaman. It comes once again into Shackles. Yeah. 430 shows up, turns it around, gets the kill on JT. Great rotation from the Leshrac. One Pylai as well, and it looks like it should be a 2 for none as Arwen gets the kill on that one.
All right. Very nice. Meanwhile, we do end up losing the Brewmaster over at mid. Moon diving in a little bit. Oh, he's getting chased, though. He's got stick charges and bottle. I think he's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of pressure. Okay, so we didn't see the remnants killing off the Lash, but Does end up just using them to kill off the Brewmaster. Moon gets the bottle rifle coming in as well from Pylai Dai. So KP still just farming play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, neither team, I mean, a little bit of a lead in MGB's favor to start off this game. Their carry is doing really well, 46 CS on the PA, though. I mean, JT's not too far behind either on the Terrorblade.
He's farming well. That kill in the TB is probably like the first important kill we've seen, but it's still, he's having a good time. So he's getting his farm. He's going to be able to hit the jungle up. It's not going to ruin his game by any means. Ember, looks like he's found the Shaman up here.
Cat, you can't just shackle this one. Getting chased down. Didn't have the damage to finish it off.
Yeah,
Cat just walks away, and now there's a regen rune waiting, but Ferrari's just going to pressure Pi, force him to pick it up, and
that's really nice.
Moon does not have the...
That's so important, and yeah, Moon ran away from the rune to chase for that kill. Shaman was there trying to deny Moon from getting a rune, and the end result is he doesn't get one, so I think a regen rune there would have been very impactful. Might just be forced to do a Remnant TP home or something to reset.
Yeah. So the Coddle pick is interesting this game. What do you make of the Coddle? Like, what is his job supposed to be here? Is it supposed to be annoying for the PA with the Will-O-Wisp, or what's the...
I mean, early game it's like a strong laning hero, which hasn't really translated into the kills perhaps they were hoping to get.
Trying to go for this bottom kill.
Very close. Great heads up TP out. Immediate TP from Gia. They trade some tips here. KP playing against his former organization, not the exact team, but of course he was playing on Newbee as a TI runner-up, so I'm sure he's good friends with some of these guys on the Mr. Game Boy side.
Okay, so they rotate the Centaur down. KP, Epicenter on cooldown, he's just going to be farming down here for a little bit, it seems like. Only the 1 point in the Burrow Strike. Very farm-focused so far, just maxing out the Sandstorm. Cat, you trying to soak some levels with mid? They're going on the Centaur, but he's pretty tanky. Alwyn just turns around and starts running at KP, dodges the Illuminate that way. They pop the Stampede, they want Febby, but he's pretty fast. He's got Tranquil Boots. They can't close the gap. Protoss is actually stampeded into an awkward spot, and now Moon here for the punish. They're gonna get the chains over onto the Centaur. He's tanky, but they've got the lockdown and the magical damage, and they will be able to bring him down. Just underestimating how fast the Keeper of the Light was.
Oh, he gets it.
He gets it. He's got stick charges as well. He's still alive. 430 fighting here. Protoss, a little bit of trouble. He finally gets ticked down. Moon trying to escape. Gets the Remnant off to the side. They're losing 2 more though. KP in some trouble. He gets stunned. And 430 will find himself a double kill.
I mean, it was fortunate for Moon. He picks up that bounty rune. He needed those bottle charges to help give him the health and mana to actually survive that one. I think all in all, slightly better for Mineski there, it felt like. Bounty room wise, I know they got at least one of the top ones, so I think they either split or got 3 of them.
Yeah, seems like it.
But nice rotation coming in from Moon, and the fact he survives is so important for them.
I don't know how they set up this
Will
gank.
they get out of this one, yeah.
Oh, they have an invis on the Lesh. It's not just the smoke.
Yep.
All right, so they're going to try and lead in with 430 Moon. If he puts the Flame Guard up, it's going to be a somewhat difficult kill. They have to land this stun. Do they have the chain? They do. The Hex comes through. KP now in a little bit of trouble. Do they have the detection? He's realized that they don't, but 430 is just sitting on top of the Sandstorm, forcing him out, and now the 4-man dive. The Centaur is actually TPing elsewhere. He's going over towards top, but KP still trying to juke through the trees. He's about to be brought down, but they do lose the PA. Weren't able to save him over at top lane, even with the Centaur rotation. Looks like Pylai Dai and JT bringing him down.
Yeah, pretty nice PA kill, but down bottom we see Leshrac, 430, just having a hell of a game. Leshrac has been all over the place, and definitely here you want to start snowballing with, because at some point you do start to feel fairly squishy. Remember, TP's into some Serpent Wards here. Needs to be a little bit careful here. Trying to defend this tower, juking spells with the Remnant.
Yeah, just wants to hold on to this
There's still a siege creep here, and they're going to glyph these creeps.
I think the Centaur's dying up top, getting gone on. They do have the Disco Ball drop down.
Back
now Ember, and it's just a slight dodge out of the stun. He might be able to turn this around now onto 430. Can he actually get it? Cat-U doesn't have the mana left for a shackle. Moon just going to commit for that kill instead. Hoping for some Javelin procs maybe. Now the PA comes in. He can't risk any of those crits.
Oh,
and Cat-U does manage to get the tower.
Yeah, that's a big bit of gold for Newbee, Mr. Game Boy right now. If Moon had managed to get back for a deny there, that would have denied them quite a lot of much needed money right now for their first kind of layer of items, but...
Yeah. Anything you can do to slow down the PA Battle Fury, slow down that Centaur Blink Dagger, the sort of first round of items is really, really big for MGB.
I mean, Moon, I think, will be pretty happy with himself. He's playing so well. His control in these fights, dodging spells, getting out on slivers of health, using these remnants so effectively well. Needs to be a little bit careful
down here, but needs to be careful. Catyu's over here. GoDz has actually just jumped to the camp.
Okay.
Moon still committing onto Catyu. There is a shackle, but he's still getting burned down quickly. Is there going to be enough damage from the PA? Moon tips him midway through the shackle.
Yeah, I can't move my hero. May as well click some tips, says Moon.
Yeah, why not?
It's one way to spend your downtime.
Both mid laners have been so active this game. I think we've even seen multiple minutes where there's just been nobody in the mid lane at all.
And I feel like this has mostly benefited Mineski because TB is getting farm uncontested. He's been jungling, he's been pushing lanes, he's been getting those kills top, whereas PA's been pulled into the fights a little bit, and that's, I mean, just partly by necessity because they're fighting around her, but the farm on the Phantom Assassin is a little bit concerning right now.
Okay, they've got another set of Mass Serpent Wards soon. 6 seconds to go, and they've got the Primal Split, so very big support ultimates available for MGB, and looks like they're now going to go and try and use those. Centaur still just holding the line up at top.
Yep. He can throw, the Stampede just to help out in this mid lane as a tool to kind of gap close.
The Lesh is backing up a little bit. It's just the two supports playing together for now. Yep. So they get another ward down, but looks like they are going to maybe call it quits for the moment.
This Radiant jungle is not a very safe space.
No, lots of dire vision.
Dire wards, taking over the entire area. And Mineski seem to be well aware it's not safe because TB's farming the top side of the map, as he should be doing. They're leaving just the Ember down here to play this tricky lane, and that's with good reason. He's got Fire Remnants, he's got that escape, and if you want to gank this guy, it really comes down to having, like, an invis Leshrac like we saw earlier on.
Yeah, so long as he's holding up a Remnant, he should be okay.
Yep.
But as we're seeing, they can still pressure him away.
Yes.
It's not impossible.
His only death this game has been that invis rune.
They're looking at the Centaur, but he just pops the Stampede and he's out of there.
I think it's still worth making him pop that just because you feel a whole lot safer on some of your other heroes farming when the Stampede is down. And also, hey, look, there's 100 seconds where he can't really play this top lane as kind of committed as he'd like to with it on cooldown.
Oh. They're waiting for Moon. He can't get another Remnant out. He's being slowed. He gets up onto the high ground. They're still chasing. Catyu wants this Hex. Nice slight chains combination. The Ghost getting involved here as well. Will be able to jump away. Gets the blur down. Shadow Shaman pops down the Mass Serpent Wards. Is that going to be enough? Moon taking the auto attacks. Can he escape? One more hit. Can they do it? The Mass Serpent Wards finish him off. Catyu still alive. Running for it. KP's chasing after him. He's got 3 points of the bow strike. It's nighttime though. Does find him up on the high ground. But still, Catyu trading his life for the Ember Spirit.
Yeah.
He is going to be extremely happy with that.
Praise Moon for so much of his great play there. He just got a little bit too overconfident with his survivability. The Serpent more damage against the low armor Ember Spirit. Able to bring him down through it all.
Wow, check this out. KP going for some Boots of Travel first. On the Sand King. Very greedy kind of a build here.
Something a bit different. He wants to be able to play all over the map in multiple lanes. I think given that you've got an Ember Spirit in your team, these Boots of Travel become more valuable because Ember can also play in multiple lanes at once. So the more heroes that can have this global presence, the stronger it is.
Yeah, they're running at the Centaur now. Do they have enough damage? They're going to try for the TP out. They're going to go for the interrupt. They don't even need the snowball. JT's got more than enough damage.
JT is very farm right now. He's already completed his SMY if he wants to. He's got just the belt to go, and Lestrac's matching him, but at some point this TP is going to hit a very strong, scary BKB timing that they just won't really have good answers to.
I like the SNY at this game. I feel like the Manta is not super useful necessarily. It's a little bit of a farming tool, but they've got enough AoE clear that the illusions are going to die pretty reliably. So I think playing the more single target TB seems like a nice decision. Febby was just pushing out bottom lane a little bit. Mineski just trying to control this area of the map somewhat. And the issue before, of course, was that they had all this vision, so they knew where the Ember was going to jump to after they pressured him.
They want this tier 1 mid tower. This has been an important pickup for them. Brewmaster going to be forced to primal split. They couldn't get the snowball stun off in time. Back in the mid lane, it is going to be Ember. Moon in some trouble here. Gets hit by the Hopstop. Can they bring him time and top? Is there a Remnant out? The Glimmer Cape trying to help him out. One Remnant. Moon's out of there. They lose the Tusk instead. KP trying to hide in these trees here. Has got a Burrow Strike back to the side though. It's Keeper caught out. Catyu, he's got him inside the Serpent Woods. Fully trapped up. Gia jumps in. The Glimmer Cape will buy him some time. Febby trying to juke, trying to get out of there. He gets to the north. He gets chased down. Brought down. 3 dead now. 430's on a mega kill streak. He wants one more. He wants the Ember Spirit. Moon in all sorts of trouble. He's going in. He gets one. He's going for 2. Oh, 430. He comes out the winner of that one. 4 kills. Go Mr. Game Boy's way.
So they did still manage to chase down the Coddle off to the side, but what a team fight from MGB. Just landing AoE stun after AoE stun. I think they got the 2-man stomp into the immediate follow-up with the Split Earth. and that was just so brutal for Mineski.
Shaman coming in like from the sides and getting off some really clutch plays too.
Yeah, and he's already got his Aether Lens now, so he's having a fantastic game on this Shadow Storm. He is the position 4, Brewmaster kind of playing that pause 5, but also he came in and he kind of prevented the Brewmaster death, right? They wanted to burst him without the Primal Split even coming out, and as soon as that split happened, Mineski just couldn't really take that fight after that point. They didn't even have the Metamorphosis.
No,
TB
was
TB wasn't even there.
Yeah, it was a 5v4. So I think given that, you maybe don't feel too bad if you're Mineski. You took a tier 1 tower, slightly bad fight, but your TB was free farming. Yeah. The issue is that this Leshrac continues to kind of be a problem. But I like that TB isn't rushing this BKB because it does feel like a slower paced game. We're going super late game. If you rush into this BKB as your first item, it's like you need to fight and take Roshan now or you fall off quickly, but the SMY is going to allow him to keep on farming at a good pace.
Jump in, they want Pi, but they don't know how many heroes are here. They get the chains back onto the Centaur. He's trapped, they're snowballing forward, looking for 430 as well. They're splitting the targets, Moon, chains up soon. They should be able to finish this kill. Can they find more over at mid? No, looks like 430. Highlight died just He ran away as soon as he realized his team wasn't backing him up.
But they feel confident enough to go into Roshan. Tag team plus TB, some good right-click damage here.
Bringing this down fairly quickly. Who do you think they give the Aegis to here? Is it just Moon can play more aggressively? Is it worth it just to give it to the Terrorblade?
Typically, you just give it to your... It's a hard carry TB. It's kind of like a 4 protect 1. So I would lean towards TB because he's also their building sieger. But TB's not a hero that makes as good a use of an Aegis as an Ember does, so... We'll see what they opt for.
The shards the ramp, they're keeping them away. MGB are coming over here now, but a little bit too late. They do give it over to JT, so that's going to secure some of his farm, and that's going to make sure that he gets to his BKB pretty much, which is the key item this
And that's the time. He's going to have it while this Aegis still probably has 2 or 3 minutes left. They don't even want to go push or fight now because Metamorph is on cooldown, so they're going to just keep farming, finish this BKB, and then group up around an Aegis TB who can just siege buildings. He's just not afraid for his life when he's got an Aegis as well as Sunder.
MGB, kind of the same game plan. They're just going for a double BKB. 430's already got this Bloodstone picked up. Like we've been saying this entire game, he's been playing fantastically. They do manage to jump Febby. He gets out the Glimmer Cape, but they do have a dust coming in from Catyu. They pop down the Master boards as well, and no way to continue defending this tower. Mineski just wanted the Bounty Runes instead, but they're only going to claim the 2 on the top side of the map, and Lesh finds himself an Arcane Rune, so Ferrari going to be very happy with that.
Yeah, some tense stuff here. Both teams pretty even, as Mr. Game Boy do have a ever so slight 1k gold lead, but given the Aegis on the TB, it feels like Mineski may be looking to strike fairly soon. The TB's farm is still in a fantastic place. It's more so the Ember who's had a few deaths in those last couple of fights.
Ember, item-wise, well, he's got the money for this Blink Dagger if he wants to pick it up, but has also just queued up the BKB. He hasn't decided on his talent just yet, does now level up the +1 second Searing Chains. I have seen people talking about if you get the BKB, the 60 Flame Guard DPS can be really strong because it basically makes your Flame Guard undispellable at that point. So if you can commit to the fight with your BKB, if it's a game where that's possible, then I think the other talent can be quite strong, but...
And I think he's looking at this game like, who's the problem here for him? It's Shaman. So he just wants to go in this Shaman and kill him. And the way you do that is having a BKB, because then you're not getting Hex shackled. So if he just dives in with a BKB, deletes Shaman, the fight looks so much better, because after that he can use his elusiveness without getting disabled.
Yeah, but I think the chains duration here is going to be super useful against the Centaur with the Stampede, against even against controlling the PA a little bit, stopping some of her mobility. Yep. So it seems like 100% the right decision. KP did go back for a Vanguard. He's quite tanky on the Sand King, no blink just yet. They're going to pop the Metamorphosis. They're going for this, but MGB, they're coming up via the river. Looking for the wraparound. What can they find? Highlight die. He's going to be caught first. Can they actually focus him down? Looks like they should be able to. He's gone. They do drop the Coddle ultimate. It's buying them a little bit of time, but Protoss still gets his ult out. They're also controlling the Sand King. Jumping in on him. JT, he's got the Sunder, uses it now. He wants to kill off Catyu. They're also focusing Centaur on the sidelines. They've got a little bit of control onto the Ember Spirit. It's actually looking pretty good for MGB. They buy back onto the Sand King. KP coming back in. JT might be a little bit too strong. They lose the Centaur. 430 still chasing after Moon. Can he finish him? Does find that first kill. JT man fighting. He's lost his first life. KP buying a little bit more time. Gonna Epi right on top of the Aegis respawn here. But 430 blocks a lot of the damage with the Yule Scepter. JT just gonna try and escape, but they get the 2-man stun, and now the further interrupt. Too much from MGB as they will win this fight handedly. That was a buyback from KP as well.
A 7-for-1. They killed 5 heroes plus an Aegis, and there was a dieback on KP. They killed 7 heroes. Dominating team fight for Mr. Game Boy. Going for that wraparound. They know this TB on the front lines cannot be the first hero they go for. They have to take out 1 or 2 of those backline supports, take away a snowball save, take away the tag team. These kind of useful little spells on squishy heroes just don't come into play in those team fights when you can target the backlines.
Yeah, Highlight Eye just gets picked off elsewhere on the map. It looks like another Bloodstone charge for 430.
430 just crushed at that fight. He was landing so many split earths, many of them without even a setup from the Yule Scepter, and the fact they can focus down that TB like they did is so important because that Aegis doesn't really feel that valuable on him when he comes back to life and he's not in Metamorph.
Yeah, and if you looked at the fight recap, there was nothing from the Caudle and the Tusk in that. I mean, the recap, I think, only caught the latter part of the fight, but what did the Will-O-Wisp really do? It bought them 1 second.
It got instantly killed,
and
And the TB also, he got kited around a lot. Like he gets the Sunder off on Shaman, who then jukes into the trees and drops Serpent Wards, which then surround the TB, which, I mean, it's not going to kill him, but it's going to completely lock him in place. He actually had to hit some Serpent Wards to move out of it.
And Kat, you at the start of the fight, he just shackled KP, right? KP was looking for the counter initiation. He wanted to lock heroes down so JT could go to work, and he just got shackled and couldn't do anything. Very, very good team fight for MGB. Now a 6K lead, looking pretty good. TB still scaling nicely, but the PA is getting huge.
Yeah.
Gia now has his Basher picked up, and that could be really scary for TB, right?
And level 20 talent coming out as well. Not quite as scary for the TB, but scary for everyone on the Radiant side. Uh-oh.
We were doing so well, GoDz.
You know, yeah, we got ourselves good 25, 30 minutes. I'm glad it's happening now, not in the middle of a team fight. Could have been a whole lot worse, as we do have our first pause/disruption of the finals. We do thank everyone for being so patient and fantastic here in the crowd.
Where's our magician? Wait. Maybe we're just straight back in.
I think we're back in.
The players are still going. It's just the casters who aren't here. Moon's already dead. I'm disconnected again.
Okay,
well, I guess we'll just keep trying.
We'll keep trying, guys. Hold on. There's something going on.
Something's happening.
I hear the players. Oh no.
Oh no.
What's going on, guys?
Worst case scenario. Offline mode, okay.
All right, well, we'll see if we can get this sorted with you guys. Sorry, apologies about this, as we don't know exactly what is occurring here, but we will hopefully get ourselves back into some Dota 2 fairly soon and find some way to reconnect, as Dota 2 hopefully will go on. It is a best of 5. Game 1 here. We are, I believe, about to get back into the game.
Again? Oh no! What have we missed, Parker?
So, what did we miss?
Do some detective work for me here. What just happened?
Death recaps. There was a big team fight. Yeah. PA went down.
So PA died, but I think there were 4 dead on Mineski.
Yeah.
In the glimpse that we saw as we reconnected, we saw Moon die to the PA. So.
How's our buyback tab looking? Did anyone buy back in that fight?
I think it would have just been, it was just KP from the previous fight.
No more buyback.
Oh, we don't have the dots on the network experience, but whatever's been happening, it's been looking darn good for MGB in these last couple of minutes.
It was like a 6K-ish gold lead, I think, when we DC'd, so that fight helped a little bit, but it wasn't like a huge swing of sorts.
But the PA is just scaling really hard. Moon. Yep. Okay, so he did just end up going for the BKB. Hasn't used it yet. Still 10-second duration. They're looking towards the Centaur. He's got the Crimson Guard. Pilot Eye's running him down. They control him for a little bit longer. KP looking for even more follow-up. They're going to drop the Epicenter for this as well. Do they even have the damage? He pops the Stampede. They pushed him to the side. He gets into the trees, and now he just blinks away. It's a 4-man gank, and they don't get it.
Yeah, he waits to Stampede until the stuns are being used. He knows if he Stampedes while there's a stun available, like Burrow Strike, he's just going to get stunned.
We've seen this before. Yeah. 430. How long is the duration on this Flame Guard?
Right, maybe needed to try and time it when the Sleight of Fist came back, but he went for the safer play, trying to make sure that he didn't have to, skill shot the timing, but at the end of the day, Ember does manage to get out.
Cat still has a ton of farm. He's got a Force Staff picked up now for his Shadow Shaman.
He's filthy rich. Just getting these defensive items so that the Ember maybe can't just go on him and delete him from a fight, and also helps his teammates out. They're getting gone if they're caught by a Searing Chain, just being able to push them back a little bit further to safety.
Yeah. And Mineski continuing to play this kind of rat game, shoving the side lanes, buying more time for JT. KP's moved himself into position where he can cut this next wave. The Ember Spirit, of course, very proficient when it comes to the split push, but I don't know if buying time is really going to do that much. Of course, a big farm TB this game is going to be scary, but it's not like MGB have a clearly worse late game, right?
Yeah, the TB PA is probably slightly better for the TB just because you have that range advantage and you eventually can go into things like MKB. Your super high armor means you don't melt, but there's multiple scaling cores.
Katyu's actually found KP over in the tree line here. He's got a lot of lockdown, and 430's got even more. They follow it up. They've got the dust as well. KP, I don't think he's going to be able to play his way out of this one. And the Phantom Assassin brings him down.
Wow, that's good detective work from Katyu as he scoops out the Sand in the jungle.
I think KP had already cut one wave and then decided to stick around and try and go for another one, so just gets scouted in the end. Centaur's almost got, well, getting closer towards an Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah. This Radiant side, I feel like we're starting to see some damage issues. Sanking fairly underfarmed, and just, you know, he's got this Blink Boots of Travel that doesn't really give him damage output. It's just TB and Ember. Ember's...
Highlight Die in some trouble. They've got the Abyssal Blade, and that's a quick kill.
But yeah, it really is just going to be Ember and TB doing damage. Ember's not in an amazing place farm-wise. TB looking good, but can't maybe do all the damage by himself. He's going to get kited around in these fights.
Yeah. And right now, JT also just trying to tank up a little bit. I thought we saw the beginnings of a... Okay, no,
he's going the MKB.
He's going the MKB.
Yeah, he had the Demon Edge in his buy.
Yeah, he's got to just pass the Scotty at the moment. But they're just letting MGB continue to push top. The Edict's making quick work of this. They've still got the Mass Serpent Wards level 3 as well for Katyu. Yeah, they really wanted to. They could try and force the high ground, but... Yeah,
they may be prioritizing, you know, potential Rosh. If they go for that and they gets defended, suddenly there's a Rosh that could go down and be Mineski favored without some of those ultimates. Gia clearing out this bottom lane. Already back up to 2k gold. Both teams probably going to be prioritizing having some of these buybacks with the second Rosh now respawning.
Roshan's up.
So important for both these teams. That was, you know, Mineski's timing early on was getting that first Roshan, but they just couldn't turn it into anything. It was Newbee who won that fight into Aegis, and suddenly Mineski have to find a way to contest this, it feels like.
Yeah, it seems like they just don't even know yet.
Yeah.
Roshan's happening.
Well, they saw the PA bottom, so I think they're just assuming they can't Rosh without PA, which is...
It's taking them a little while. PA turns up now.
There's some truth to that. But here's the PA, and now Rosh will just drop.
Did opt for the 30% cleave talent. KP just pushing bottom. Not coming over here. Even if they know, they've decided that they don't really want to fight this. Yeah. It seems like a decent timing for the Terrorblade having picked up the MKB, but maybe Mineski want to wait for another item.
Not having buyback or something. It's like you just get this MKB, so if you go contest Rosh without buyback, you may just lose.
Got KP at bottom. TP also coming in from 430. KP's been trying to play the split push this entire time. They've also got a dust for him. The Edict is just burning him down. And 430 beyond godlike.
And he is playing so well.
Action in mid as well. They've popped down the Will-O-Wisp. They're going towards the PA, but he's got PKB. He's got Aegis. He's just going to be looking for targets. Who can he find? He looks towards Moon. Moon panic remnants up onto the high ground. Does manage to escape. They're still just controlling this Terrorblade the entire time. JT spent that entire fight up in the air. And now Moon needs to be careful. He's got the Remnant. Gets it up onto the high ground. 430. We've seen this story multiple times. He's got this Invis rune. Jump in from KP. The dude does get hexed up. 430. Can he survive? He's got the Bloodstone. It's healing him as well. Aegis has been popped. JT committing hard to this fight. Can they actually find the PA kill? He's managed to jump a little bit further away. Dagger flies onto the Ember. Do they have enough damage to finish him? Moon still kiting, still surviving. He's okay. Back in the fight though. JT's just getting shackled, and he's now dead. The Hex on the Pile I Die. Follow-up kill there for MGB.
That shackle duration just destroys TB. If nobody cancels the shackle, he's just dead without getting Sunder off. He has to find a way to get Sunder, but he can't do it on his own. They're not done. They got the call on the higher ground. They're just storming forward, taking apart Mineski one by one. The Ghost Scepter will buy some time, but the Lightning will finish him off. 430, beyond godlike. He's 14, 0, and 11. And now they are going high ground.
The new Bloodstone heal actually did so much for 430 in that fight. He dropped to about half from the epicenter and then just popped the Bloodstone mana battery.
It looked like a great KP's initiation. He hit like a two-man Burrow Strike with an epicenter. Everybody was getting low, looking like they were about to die to the TP.
Called out the damage problems, and that's exactly what we saw, right? Look at this. It's only Terrorblade who's really doing anything. The Ember was just spending the whole fight kind of running away, it felt like.
You compare their damage to the Dire side. The Leshrac did like 8 to 10k damage or something, and all of a sudden you get multiple lanes of racks. Mineski not opting to buy back anyone there. They only had the TB one, and it doesn't do a whole lot without your BKB metamorph, so Mr. Game Boy say, we're going to take your top lane as well. All your bases are about to belong to us as they get mid, bottom, and now the top tier 3 tower. Can Mineski defend this last lane of racks?
Showing the KP, they jump in onto Moon. Do they have enough? They do. The bashes plus the Abyssal Blade. Sand King brought down now. Moon buys back into the game, but just can't do anything. Gia, all right, jumps over, clears out some illusions as they just slowly siege the final lane of racks.
Mineski just looked done for. There's no team fight left, and then they just completely lack damage. They get the Terror Blade. This could be it. He needs to get a Sunder off, does get the BKB out, has Sunder available. He's waiting to use it a little bit longer, doesn't have a good target as well. Maybe Gia, who's fairly low here. JT can't afford to get chain stunned here. The stun comes up from the split low. He's going to get the Sunder off. 430. Getting very low here, but he's going to turn and fight. He's going to heal himself back up bit by bit, and it looks like TB forced to buy back. This is not good for Mineski. They've only got 2 alive, and it's GG. Newbie, Mr. Game Boy, take game 1.
The play from Katyu on the Shadow Shaman, I think, was fantastic this game. If I'm going to give anyone the MVP on MGB, it's got to be him. He got
Even
the solo
with
kill.
430, his Leshrac?
I don't know.
Yeah.
The solo
Okay.
kill on the Ember, he rotated really well in the early stages of the game. He played that 2v3 as well up top.
That
really
was definitely
nicely
like
at
the
beginning.
hardest part of their game was not losing that top lane.
Yeah.
The fact they actually went even and kind of won the lane. They got kills up there in a 2v3 when Shaman is meant to probably just go 0 and 3. Like he's not meant to have a game with that lane, but he played it so well. Mineski definitely didn't play that lane as well as they could have. A couple of wasted metamorphs. They didn't have a great trial lane. They didn't have a good stun or initiation. Tag team level 1 was their initiation. And they couldn't
I feel
make
like
it
the Coddle pick just really didn't do very much this game. It seemed like Mineski were maybe trying something out a little bit, and it just didn't really find the mark. We've seen Febby on much more impactful heroes over the course of this event.
Absolutely. He's played some more of that greedier full position, but this just didn't seem to have the impact with the greed. So it is Newbie, Mr. Game Boy, taking game 1. We kind of wondered, would it be a one-sided finals after Mineski 2-0'd them earlier today in pretty one-sided fashion, but we've got Newbie bouncing back, getting revenge in at least one game, but it's a best of 5. So we're going to see how this story unfolds with the rest of this series as we head to a quick break and go back to the stage and then come back with game number 2.